Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Coffee Talk. If you just joined us, Coffee Talks are the short, in-between episodes where we read your user-submitted stories, hang out with friends, talk about witchy pop culture, or chat with you about what's going on in our personal lives and practices.
I was about to say, you didn't even stutter on witchy.
I know, and then here I stuttered on something stupid.
That's okay. It's what we do. So
it's like really pretty.
I know, so pretty. So pretty. But if you want to be featured on Coffee Talk, email us at submissions@coffeeandcauldrons.com, or you can send us your submission on our website, coffeeandcauldrons.com. You can send us your tips, your ghost stories, or any kind of funny story you think the community would love to hear. Be sure to let us know if we can share your name, or if you prefer to stay anonymous. Your social media usernames are also a great way to get credit. And if writing out your story is just not for you, and you would rather just voice note it, as we all typically do now to save time instead of just typing things out, you can leave us a voicemail on our little phone number. And that number is 351-207-0799.
We've already got a whole bunch of new submissions, and I'm really excited.
I'm very
I think
excited.
we're going to play and read some next episode. Because we don't want to overload you guys with too much stuff at once, but we're very excited.
I am too.
And before we get into this episode, as a reminder, we do have a class on January 25th for the library tier and up on Patreon.
You mean February?
For which...
February?
That's what I meant. It was February 25th, not January 25th. I meant February, because I'm very pretty. This class is going to be hosted by Elohim Leafar. It's going to be on dream magic, which he just had a book come out about this, which is going to be very exciting. You can join us on Patreon for the library tier and up for this, or you can join us on Eventbrite, where if you're like, Patreon's not for me, but I am interested in this class, we are now hosting that as an option for people who just aren't interested in long-term subscription. With the Patreon as well, if you are a part of it and you're like, I want to see this class, but there's no way I'm gonna make it, do remember that we have all of our classes available immediately and for you to watch back, as well as the entire catalog of classes that came before that. So
yeah, you could literally get a backlog of classes, like amazing classes. Like
there's so many. Yeah, I think it's a really great deal, but you're totally entitled to disagree. But if you would like to join us, that would be amazing, and we'd be happy to have you.
Yeah. Come join.
So, okay, that being said, what are we talking about today? What's going on? Tell me what's in your brain.
So, I spent like all of yesterday, like right now our backyard is like completely covered in like dead nettle, and it's already flowering and stuff like that because spring is coming a whole lot faster.
Pictures.
Oh, I did like a whole video of it. Like I'm probably gonna
I
post
didn't see it, but I'm gonna go look.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't posted it yet, but I guess when this comes out, it should be out. We'll see. I don't know. The plan is to either release it today or tomorrow.
Collectively as a group, and if you don't have it out, I just want you to know that I will be one of the Spotify commenters to let you know that I'm disappointed in you.
Okay, Mom. But no, it's so pretty, and I can't believe how much that we have. It probably just shows, we really do need a mow, but that's fine. It's still winter. But it's really interesting because the dead nettle is growing next to next to the dandelions. So it's kind of like spring and winter, like intermingling. Yeah. It's really pretty, and
that's really beautiful. I bet.
It's like a really good message about like winter in general. Like, you think winter is everything is asleep, nothing's happening, and dead nettle kind of shows that stuff is happening below the surface. And
there's a metaphor there.
Yeah, there is a metaphor there.
When the dark and the light meet each other, you will always find the lightness within the dark and the darkness within the light.
Exactly. You got it all.
And at the end of the day, none of us are the big light.
No. That's the burning, light in the sky.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It makes me very excited to start foraging again. Like, stuff is starting to come back.
Mhm.
Although I know, spring, the day actual spring starts, there's going to be nothing like really growing besides still the dead nettle and dandelions. But it's fine. It's fine. I just soon, real nettle will start growing, and I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. So what have you
I'm
been up to
hoping that
lately?
we can, like, the snow will melt enough on the hiking trail right by our house that we can take our toddler on a hike sometime soon, just like in the flat areas, not the high up spots, obviously, and see if we can find anything. I think that they would really like that, and I think it'd be fun. So
that'd be so cute to start like identifying plants with smoke ball.
I saw a thing that was like, you take an egg carton and you color a different color in each little slot, and then you have them try to color match
that's
from
so
like
cute.
nature, and I thought that might be kind of fun. And I think it's a really good way to kind of start incorporating them and doing things like collecting home harvest fresh herbs, and just kind of talking about it, like talking about the plants and talking about like what they do, like magic aside. We can talk about like the mundane uses for them. We can talk about the folklore, and like obviously done in a toddler appropriate way. But I think it might be really good way for us to kind of combine learning and also like things that are important to mommy.
And it's good to know that, like, stuff that's going on around you and on the earth, and developing that love for the earth early.
Yeah.
Because so many of us are, at our age, are so disconnected from the earth.
So
and
jaded.
Stuff like that. So jaded. But I think that's good. Start them young.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, and I do think it's really important to have an awareness of things. And historically, when Francis and I have done these hikes, we have collected trash along the way, because I also think that that's really important. I think that we are all servants of the land to a degree, and part of being a witch, in my opinion, in my practice, is taking care of the land that's around us and picking up trash. So I think that might be a really good thing to start teaching them as well. Unfortunately, when we go on our longer walks on the road where there is a ton of trash that could use picking up, it's too long of a road next to cars with no sidewalk that I don't feel comfortable with them picking up trash.
It's so strange because, especially in America, we rarely have sidewalks where we need sidewalks, and it just makes things so dangerous. And I know,
unless you live in a big city, of course.
Yeah, but then that, that's the whole point, is go out and be close to nature and stuff like that. And there's like no sidewalks next to the road to get to said nature, where you will be on a dirt trail eventually. But I don't know. It's really frustrating.
Think it's really I don't know. There's something very low, like, I don't know the right word, like bottomy about littering to me. Like, really, you couldn't hold on to that? I mean, you held on to it with an item in it this whole time.
Always like,
you can't hold on to it for another 10 minutes to throw it appropriately in a trash receptacle.
Well, that, and then like, especially next to the road, you'll always find like beer cans and stuff like that. It's like, oh, so we're drinking and driving,
and you're driving. Very cool.
Oh,
you just don't care about nothing, do you, buddy? You're so cool.
It's so insane. We do the same thing. We go out and we collect trash, and we use like the compostable trash bags and stuff like that, so we don't feel bad about like leaving it into the little trash receptacles usually found on the hikes that we go
smart.
on. Yeah. The
only
problem is with those bags, they tear so easily, so you have to be super careful about what, like,
they're like made of prayer. They're made of whispers.
It's compostable, Robyn. It's compostable.
We used to, because when Francis and I still lived in San Francisco, we obviously lived in a big city, so there was composting rules. We had like, every single type of trash had a rule. And so we use composting trash bags for everything except for our paper. because paper always has the cardboard in it.
Mm-hmm.
And those things would you would put the cardboard in it and it would just go, and it was gone. Just absolutely just disintegrating into nothing. It would be shredded by the time you're trying to take it to the trash bin. Like, you've got paper all over the floor, and it's just like, you know what? Maybe this just doesn't get a receptacle, and we just carry the can to the trash bin, because this is actually causing more damage than it's worth.
Yeah, we've been using like paper bags for recycling and stuff like that, and it helps us take out the trash sooner, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's good. There's no problems in that.
And in South Carolina, like, you put everything together. I know that California has a lot of like strict rules about recycling and stuff like that, but all the recycling.
You're trying to tell me that a Carolina doesn't care about the planet?
Oh,
I'm just joking.
Second. Let me
you
tell
live
you.
in Carolina, one of the Carolinas, don't get mad at me. That was a joke.
A lot of people, especially like the older people around here, a lot of them don't realize that you can get like free recycling. Like, have them come pick it up, and so they just
it literally doesn't cost
trash.
anything.
It's fine.
It's literally free. It's recycling. Please.
It's okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot of rules. California has a ton of rules. We've got, I mean, listen to us. We're talking about witchcraft, and now we're getting on a whole like tangent about recycling.
This is part of witchcraft. This is taking care of the earth.
In our opinion as well. But here you have multiple trash bins. So you have your bin that has the split down the center, and it's got like paper goods on one side and then plastic and cans on the other side. And the paper goods have to be completely dry. They're not allowed to have food on it. It's like, so if you do like take out pizza, for example, you have to take the little plastic, or not the plastic, but the paper bit out, because that goes in compost, which is a separate section. So like, you know those internet hacks that are like, just get your cardboard wet and then it will fit into your bin better. Now you've created a compost item, which is not the same as a recycle item, and you're doing your recycling wrong.
Ever.
Yeah, it was like I've seen it a few times on the internet, but as we've all learned, if you're in the Discord, my For You page is like the most psychotic wasteland of just rat trash. So you got your paper goods, you got your cans and bottles, again, all having to be cleaned. Glass goes in there as well. So you have to rinse everything out before you put it in, because it can't have food in it. And then you've got regular trash, which is always a really small bin, because you're supposed to be utilizing the other ones. And then you have a composting bin. And some cities, not our city, but some cities, like my cousin lives in the Lodi area. I don't remember where exactly, but he lives in the Lodi area. And it's his job to do stuff like this. So like, he's not a trash man, like he's not a collector, but it's his job to like make sure that things are like impacting the environment appropriately or something like that regarding trash. And he was telling me that some of the trash cans now have got cameras on them to make sure that you are composting what is supposed to be composted. And if you're not composting properly, they will fine you.
Oh.
So, like, we are very serious in California about our trash rules.
Yeah, South Carolinians would never. I mean, they're for, like, you know, being observed in like a police type of matter, but in regards to recycling and stuff, they're like, no, this goes against my freedoms.
Yeah. It's a tricky line. I mean, I'm not saying that I think that the cameras on the trash can are appropriate. Like, I don't know that they are. I mean, again, we do not have that here, so I cannot comment on how I would actually feel about being monitored that way. Because I don't experience that, but I just know it exists.
Imagine going out there in your onesie and
this
looking
is
at
my
the camera.
Compost. Flashing the camera like, now you can't find me legally because you've committed a crime. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
And I know a lot of places the reusable bag thing is relatively new as well. We've had that here since I was in college.
Yeah.
like getting charged for a bag. So we have reusable bags, and I just got new ones, and I was really excited about it.
Yeah, we just get, plastic bags.
We don't have. I haven't seen one of those like thin thank you plastic bags since I was a kid.
That's crazy.
I haven't seen one in forever. I vividly, of course, remember what they look like, but I have not seen one of those bags since I was a teenager.
That's crazy, but it's good. It's good. It's good.
Well, it is, but it isn't. Like, it's really weird. Like, we get these bags now. Like, if you go to Walmart, for example, and you get a bag, it's made of way thicker plastic because the idea is that you're supposed to reuse it. You're supposed to bring it back, but you know
no
that if
going
you're
to do it,
nobody's doing that. Like, I know they're not. And so, like, yes, it's good, but also, is it? Because if you are somebody who does not who's okay with paying the 10 cents a bag, because it's not that much money.
Yeah.
I feel like it's making way bigger waste.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I try
just
to
make it all paper.
For either reusable or the paper bags if they're available. Or I'll literally just carry things out of the store.
Yeah, I've definitely done that too. I've been like, I don't need a bag. I forgot my bags. I got it into the cart just fine. I'll get it out of the cart just fine.
You have one between your
You're
boobies.
not taking my 10 cents, Joseph Biden.
You have some in your pockets. It's fine. It's handled.
I just, even like, there was one time that I like filled our cart. It was like Christmas or something. And I filled our cart with like just shit for the kids. And I forgot bags, and I was like, fuck it. I'm going to hand put all this stuff into the trunk. I don't care. You're not getting my 10 cents. Gavin Newsom. I know what you're up about.
Oh, no. So I started listening to Braiding Sweetgrass with the rest of you guys.
Yay! Are you going to join book club?
I am. I think
you better.
I'm already I think I am a third of the way through the audiobook.
It's so good, isn't it?
Well, I read the book a while ago, but I was also going through that whole brain fog situation.
Yeah.
And so, listening to it, with my ears and being able to comprehend things, it has been very nice. And as you said, she has such an amazing voice and such an amazing presence.
It's just so much more impactful when it comes out of her mouth.
Rather than someone else. Yeah. I'm really glad she did it, because you could tell, because the sentimentality is there, like when she's talking about everything, especially about her daughters, which is spoilers if everyone's like, well, that's spoilers, even though I don't know if you could really spoil a non-fictional,
a biographical book.
But at one point she talks about her daughters leaving home, and I'm just sitting here thinking about my 14 soon to be 15-year-old. I'm like, no, this is horrible. No. But I did like when she was it was at the part where they were talking about the pond, and she's like, the pond kind of represents older bodies, instead of viewing it as getting older. Instead, we hold stories and tons of new growth and potentials and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I like that.
Have you cried at all?
Oh yeah.
I think I cried. So I'm caught up now. I've listened to the entire book on audiobook now. I think I cried 9 times. It just really it's impactful. Do you know what I mean? And in my opinion, I haven't read a book that was that impactful for me in a really long time. And so I'm actually really glad that we reread this book, because we did it 4 or 5 years ago. I'm really glad that we did it because it's really good and it's important. And I think that when we talk about beginner books and rereading beginner books as refreshers for information, I think that this is one of those books that you should read every few years as a refresher, because it's really impactful, and I think that sometimes we get a little jaded in our practice and towards things that we have these opinions on and these thoughts on. And I don't know, I think it's really good to have redone this.
I think lately, within my practice, most books are very beginner based, as we've discussed before. And so lately in my practice, I search for more like inspirational books that makes me excited to practice, makes me excited to get out into nature. Obviously, Braiding Sweetgrass is one of those, but also like Spell in the Wild and like books of like that. Obviously, like Spell in the Wild is very good, but it's not at the level of like Braiding Sweetgrass, obviously. But Spell in the Wild is like so like makes you want to go out and practice and enjoy, life as a witch and things like that. And I wish more books would come out like that. That is less like, this is my practice and this is how you should practice. And this is a spell. You should do this spell. And instead be like, yeah, I do want to practice. I want to make my own spells. Yeah. I want to go out in nature. Like,
I think anything that encourages like the practitioner to take things into their own hands and not be so like, if you don't do it exactly this way, you will die in a fire and you will kill your whole family. I think any book that inspires that is good. That's a good thing.
It is.
Because I do think that too many books, not that they tell you you're going to die fire and brimstone if you mess it up, but I do think that they leave a lot of that room for imagination and making things your own out of books.
Exactly.
Which, it's not really on the author to...
Of course not.
It's not on the author to be like, hey guys, go out and make things your own. But simultaneously, I think there is this disconnect with new witches that they're so afraid of doing something wrong.
Yeah, they forgot the
not
reason why they wanted to,
obviously,
but they forgot about the reason why they even wanted to practice in the first place. Like, it was for self-discovery and to find magic. And, you're not going to find magic looking at a manual. You're going to find magic by actually going out there and, enjoying stuff and feeling it and experiencing it.
Yeah. Well, and how many, like... Let's be honest, how many new witches books read like lawnmower manuals?
Oh, yes. Like, yeah. It's
Your
very
book is so pretty, but it also actually does not have to read like on part A, B, C, 12. We're going to connect connector 6 to the square connector of the 6, 7, 48.
It completely removes like all the emotion out of spell work, which is important.
And so much of spell work is emotion. Like, I don't know.
If you're not feeling it and you're just doing a spell just because you need to do the spell, like, is it gonna work?
And you're sat there like with your book or your phone or whatever and going, okay, we've got to add this thing into here and then that thing into there. Like, I don't know. Some of it has to be felt with gusto from the inside.
And I do, like, part of witchcraft is experimenting and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of newer witches are scared to experiment because they're scared of getting it wrong, as you said. And
which
I don't know.
Is not a judgment.
Oh, no.
It's just
not at all.
A reoccurring observation.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we should probably wrap this up. We did get on a little bit of a tangent there.
Look,
about
we've been reading Braiding Sweetgrass or listening to it, and so
listen,
concerned about the environment.
I'm gonna be a hater.
Guys.
I'm gonna be a hater, and I'm gonna say that if you listen to audiobooks and you don't read them, it's still reading. Okay? And anybody who says that it's not is ableist and weird. So who cares how you consume the book? Just consume the book. Like, really grinds my gears when people say stuff like that. Just read the book. Who cares if you're listening to it? Or, like, it's like when people go, oh, well, if you read it on a Kindle, it's not really reading because you're turning the pages. Shut up. Shut up.
I love my Kindle. People are rude.
People are so rude, and they worry about the dumbest things, and at the end of the day, if the biggest complaint you have in this world is that some people read books by listening to audiobooks, you're doing okay. Life's alright.
Yeah. Yes, it is. You're doing a great.
Just let people consume literature in whatever format they choose to consume it, and stop worrying yourself about it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, as you said, the whole ableist aspect. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't, especially if you're busy and the only way you can actually learn and consume materials is by listening to it. I mean, you're still learning. That's the important part.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
My viewpoint is that you aren't better than other people because you have the time to sit down and flip pages in a book. You're just not. Is it great that you have the time to do that? Amazing. 12 out of 10. I'm so happy for you. I definitely do it. But the fact of the matter is that there's a whole demographic of people that are stuck in a car commuting 2 hours every single day, or more.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole demographic of people who do not have the cognitive function to be able to sit down and read a book like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they can consume in whatever way they choose to consume. And that does not make them less than you. So shut up. Just shut up. Anyway, that being said, thanks so much for joining us today, guys. With that lovely closing note. We hope to see you guys next week for our regularly scheduled episode. As a reminder, we're going to be talking about palmistry. We've got Paula from P is for Palmistry, which is very exciting. I think that's going to be fun. We've never had a palmistry episode.
Yeah.
You can also check out our website for links to everything, including our submission form if you want to send us a handwritten story for Coffee and Cauldrons. I've also got a link on there for our phone number if for some reason it being in the bio is just complicated for you. That's valid. It's on our website, which is coffeeandcauldrons.com, or you can email us at submissions@coffeeandcauldrons.com to tell us any ghost story, witchy story, tip, or topic that you think that the community would love to hear.
And as always, if you enjoyed Coffee and Cauldrons, please take a moment to review us on Apple Podcasts or even on Spotify. Or if you want to support us directly, consider joining our Patreon. We have so much going on Patreon. Not only the classes, but we have a community. We have spells that go up. We have a monthly outlook. You get a lot. And there's a lot that happens.
And this month, if you join, I'm hosting the monthly ritual, and we're doing a sewing circle, and it's going to be so fun. I'm really excited. I'm very excited. Everyone's doing a sewing circle. We're making little protection sachets. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited.
I love it.
Well, that being said, everyone, have a great day. Hope it's the best for you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.